Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Today we have a delicious and easy Instant Pot meal for you. Today we're going to be sharing with you our low carb version of Zuppa Toscana. So stay with us. Okay, so I have my Instant Pot all ready to go. First things first, always make sure that you have the liner inside. You don't want to go adding ingredients to this mechanism here because that is a hot plate, which we don't have it on yet. Okay, so now we're going to turn it on the saute function and just let it start to warm up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and we are cooking with some high heat. Plus, I want the flavors of all the seasonings that I'm adding in to really shine through. So the avocado oil doesn't hardly add any flavor whatsoever to the dish and lets us kind of add what we want. So after we let our oil completely heat through, we're going to add in 1 pound of Italian ground sausage, and we're going to brown that with a 1/2 cup of onions as well as some minced garlic. So once that oil starts to heat through, then we're going to add in our sausage. We're just going to break that sausage up into smaller pieces so that it can brown evenly. Then we're also going to go ahead and add in our onions. Now I'm using red onion because that's what I have on hand. Now we like our Zuppa Toscana just a little spicy, so the red onion kind of helps in adding some spice without adding a whole lot of heat. But I know that there are a lot of people who don't love red onion or purple onion, whatever you want to call it. And that's fine. You can use whatever you have on hand. I'm a huge proponent of using what you have. Don't go out and buy a whole lot of special ingredients. Also, the same as if you can't find the ground pork sausage, you can also buy it in the casings and just simply remove the sausage from the casings. All right, so now we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. And I know I talk a lot about being careful with cooking garlic because you don't want it to burn. However, whenever you are browning another component like a protein, it's fine. It shouldn't burn. It should be relatively safe to go ahead and add it early. Plus, we want to infuse that garlic flavor into the meat. All right, so we're just going to let these onions sweat, the garlic and the Italian sausage start to brown, keeping it on the saute function of your Instant Pot. Okay, now that we have our sausage all nice and browned, we're going to add in a few other flavor components. Now, I wanted to mention right here that typically my Italian sausage that I use doesn't cook off a whole lot of grease. You can drain this if you want and then return it back to the pot. But for me today, there's really no need. As you can see, it didn't cook off a whole lot of liquid. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in our seasonings. We're going to add in 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of basil, and I'm just going to give that a mix. And I'm using dried herbs, but you certainly can use fresh. If you're using fresh, you just want to add in about 2 teaspoons of each, as fresh is not nearly as strong as dried. So now we want to add in our broth. I'm using vegetable broth. but you feel free to use whatever you would like. We're going to add in about 3 cups. Three cups of broth. And like I said, I'm using vegetable, but you feel free to use whatever you would like. And I'm just going to give that a stir. Now, traditional Zuppa Toscana usually has potatoes and kale in it, and that's fine. We're going to give you a couple of substitutions for that. One which makes this low carb, and one that we're using in place of the potatoes is this hearts of palm. And if you've never seen hearts of palm, you can buy them just like this. They look like, really looks like a cheese stick, but these are fabulous. This is one of my most favorite snacks ever, and you just want to take it and you just want to slice it into rounds so that you get that potato-like consistency. And I'm just going to drop those in, and I'm using one 12-ounce can, excuse me, 14-ounce can. And we're going to carefully just drop those in. And y'all, I love these. I ate one. But it's a good sacrifice. Healthy substitutions like hearts of palm in place of potatoes, or pasta even, are really good ideas if you're trying to really watch what you're doing. And they're relatively soft, so there's not a whole lot of cooking involved that needs to be done. We really just want them to take on the seasonings that we've added into the soup itself. So now I have 12 ounces of fresh spinach that I've washed and drained, and we're going to carefully add that in after I throw it all over the place. If you're new to my channel, I call my kitchen the messy kitchen, and this is why. Now that spinach, it looks like a lot, right? And it is, but we're gonna fold it in and it's gonna cook way down. Now let me pick up what I dropped because it's clean, my counter is clean. And just get in those last few. And I'm just gonna kind of start to fold it in or push it down into the soup. And it will immediately start to wilt because we are still on that saute function. I've still got that going. And what I like to do is try to just get it pushed down enough where I have about 4 inches from the top of the pot. Now we're simply going to turn off the saute function, and then we're going to lock our lid in place, set it to pressure cook, and then set it for pressure cook for 6 minutes. And then start it and leave it alone. Now it does take it slightly more than 6 minutes to cook. If you're not old hand at using the Instant Pot, I just have to tell you it does take sometimes about 10 minutes or so for it to come to pressure and start the cooking process. But one of the neat things about this is if you use this to saute like we did, you've already built up enough heat in there that it should come to pressure relatively quicker than it would, say, if you were just using a cold unit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to allow this to cook for 6 minutes, and when the timer goes off, I'm turning the unit off. Then we will allow the pressure to release naturally, which means about another 10 minutes or so. Then we'll come and we'll release that remaining pressure, and we'll show you on camera how we do that, and then we'll add our final components to this delicious low-carb dish. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to carefully take a spoon and switch that to release and let out any remaining pressure, and there is just a little bit. Typically when you're cooking large amounts of liquids like this, you always want to let it NPR. That's natural pressure release before you unlock and open this lid. So now we're going to carefully, and there's usually a lot of condensation on this lid, so be careful with it. Then we're just going to mix that up, and you see the spinach got nice and cooked. Now we're going to add in 1 cup of heavy cream, and that adds creaminess and richness to the soup. And we're just going to mix it up. And see that cream, once it hit that hot liquid, has started to thicken already. Now, you can allow this to sit a little bit and thicken up, or you can serve it right away. I'm going to go ahead and take some out and let it cool just a bit before we taste it, while we talk a little bit about the recipe. Now, one of the things that I wanted to show you is how we recommend that you serve this. So let me get a good bit in this bowl. Now, on your serving, we recommend taking just a little bit of Parmesan cheese and just flip that over the top. And then a little crushed red pepper. And I'm going to pop my top open. Now, serving it like this with it on the side like that is ideal. A lot of people add the red pepper to the pot, and that's fine. But if you're serving this to a crowd of people and you're just not sure what their dietary preferences are, it may just be best just to serve it alongside of it. Plus, you've already got the garnish of the parm, so why not just put the red pepper next to it? Now, we're going to be brave here, and I'm going to blow on it a bit, and then we're going to give it a taste. I'm more worried about that big hunk of heart of palm on there, but we'll try it. Oh, smooth, delicious Zuppa Toscana. And low carb, good for you. You just won't miss a thing. And those hearts of palm, if you've never tried them before, they are fantastic. Like I said before, I like to just drain them, rinse them, and eat them right out of the can. We'll have another bite. You just can't beat it. Y'all, this recipe is delicious, it's easy, and it is a little fancy feeling. You can do it any night of the week. Have a hearty, warm, comforting meal for you and your family, and keep it healthy if you're trying to watch what you're doing, like Big D and I are. Y'all, this recipe, like all of our others, can be found over at thebutteredhome.com. We have lots of great recipes over there with a free printable recipe card just for you. We hope you'll give us a visit. Also, if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, if you're not already, head over to YouTube and search for The Buttered Home and hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You never know where we're going to pop up, and we want you following us at all of those places because we have a really good time and we share lots of great tips and tricks with you, as well as some delicious cooking substitutes to make your eating life healthier and more enjoyable. From all of us here to the Buttered Home to your, from the Buttered Home to your home. Woo, this is so good. I can't wait to eat it. I can't even talk. From all of us here at the Buttered Home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.